how to fix INP issue longer than 200 milliseconds for mobile. I'm creating an updated tutorial because you have tools available now using Google AI that can help you to fix INP issues. And let's first look at INP issues if you do not have the technical skills. Let's imagine you have no coding experience and you can't even, read through this and say, oh, what's really going on here? Because most website owners, they don't have the technical skills. That's why I've created this updated tutorial. So basically, if Google Search Console, Core Web Vitals for mobile, you're seeing INP issue longer than 200 milliseconds, or LCP issue. Let's say LCP longer than 2.5 for mobile. It doesn't matter what the problem is in Search Console. The tools available when you click on things here, all these URLs are grouped. What does that mean? Because each website will have similar parts. Let's say pages will have similar structure. Article sections will have similar structure. If you're operating an e-commerce site, product URLs will have a similar structure. Because of that, Search Console groups the URLs for you to further analyze. And then it gives you options, such as when you click the 3 dots, it says, okay, go and visit PageSpeed Insights. This is a free tool. It can be complex, but bear with me, because I'll try and simplify it. So let's imagine you do not have the technical skills to fix or even identify INP issues. What do you do then? What you can do is first look at your web host. Think it like your website is residing within a car. If the car is too slow, it will perform too slow. If the car is modern and new and fast, then it will be fast. Web hosting works along those lines. What you can do is using command prompt on Windows, you can use a ping command to ping your competitor website and then ping your own website and then look at the time response difference. Look at these 2 different domains. Look at the time here and look at the time difference here. That's 5 milliseconds. For local businesses, you should aim to host your website within the country that you're offering services. If your target audience is based globally, you should consider using content delivery networks, because that will speed up your site if your target audience is based globally. Cloudflare is a popular content delivery network and it's free for one website. So changing web hosts is a straightforward process as well, so keep that in mind. Another thing that you can do if you do not have the technical skills is look at the theme that you're using, because most content management systems allow you to upgrade your theme with few clicks. Let's imagine Shopify or WordPress. You may be able to choose a website theme that's less complex and coded better. Now, then what you can do if you don't have the technical skills is look at the apps or plugins that you're using and ask yourself, do you absolutely need the plugin or the app that is installed on your website? Knowing that each plugin is adding a burden to page load times. So these are the quick and easy methods that you can use to fix Core Web Vital problems whether it's LCP, INP, and so on. Because if you have any issues in Search Console, it's more than likely that just adhering to the insight that I've just shared, it's going to help you to avoid many problems, okay? So that's the basic insights for those who don't have the technical skills. But what if you manage your client's website? Or you're comfortable looking at code and changing things? So let's go and learn how we can fix INP errors if you manage your client's website, for example. So INP, which is interaction to next pane. The page loads differently to what we see when the page loads. It loads frame by frame. It loads script by script. It calculates the styles, JavaScript, and so on. And INP issues basically means the time difference between the interaction. If it's more than, let's say 10 seconds, let's say someone visits your e-commerce site, presses add to cart button, and it takes 5 seconds for that item to be added to the cart. Well, that's a terrible user experience. And people won't wait around 5 seconds, right? So INP calculates the interactions and the time difference in between the two. If it takes more than 200 milliseconds on a mobile visit, then Search Console reports will complain saying, you know what? You can actually improve your web page loading. So then let's take a look at a typical e-commerce site in Australia, right? So I'll actually go step by step. Let's press on F12 on our keyboard and press on Performance tab. If you have any extensions and so on, perhaps you may want to remove it. If you're analyzing your own website, do use incognito option and then press on F12. Because when you're logged in, you may see different things. So now let's select the mobile device emulator. Here I'm looking at Pixel 7. Or I can select iPad Pro if I want. I can zoom in to 100% and say, okay, how about Pixel 7 at 100%? What does someone see when they land if they were using Google Pixel 7? I can always edit the devices here as well, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to record the page load and interact with the web page as well. So we do that by pressing on, actually let's start from 0, let's refresh. So now that's profiling, as in it's recording. So whatever the items are clickable, as in interactable, then simply interact with it. If I press this, what happens? Oh, there was a refresh icon here. If I press that, what happens? If I select this option because I'm interacting with the page, then what happens? Okay, this is a very complex web page. If I click this, what happens? Something changes. And it's the time in between that Search Console is complaining about. So now I have profiled the page. As I've said, this will be a little bit technical for those with technical skills. So when we're looking at this, there is a lot of information here. But using the latest AI tools available in Google Web Developer Toolbar, you can use AI Assistant. You can press on Escape key to remove the tab or press it again to bring it up. As you can see, here the AI Assistant, which is actually a great tool, says, how can I help you? I can say, okay, identify performance issues in this code tree. I can do that. Or I can press on INP by phase. And now there was an input delay here, which was 8 milliseconds. and it shows me what it is. Now, we can go deeper and deeper and deeper. But if you do have the technical skills, basically, here the interaction, we can zoom in. Anything that's in red color, you should actually look at, whether it is INP problem or something else. Let's take a look at this. Let's move things around to see, okay, what else is there? There was a function call, there's a task here. But let's look at presentation delay, and it takes me to that section. So, okay, here, okay, let's actually minimize that. There was an event that's happening here. Event is called touch end. There was the micro tasks that's been run. Timer fired. Animation frame fired. So I'm looking at this section here. I can say, okay, how about this here? What's here? I want to see, zoom in to that red area. Okay, that's an external frame coming from Google Recapture. So there was a long task here. I can zoom in and out using my mouse key and say, okay, first contentful paint was loaded at this moment. Largest contentful paint is here. And I can analyze this report. But as you can see, we have Ask AI here. Let's do that. Because if we have the tools, why not use it? Help me optimize my INP score. Let's ask that. But whether you use the AI or not, you still need to drill down to see what function calls, what events are occurring when people interact on the landing page. Here, using the AI tool, you can see analyzing insights by phase, and it has identified what they are, and it gives you the time frame as well. Main thread activity, this was the activity. Yeah. For us to understand these, we need to have the technical skills, correct? So pointer up event. So because you're managing this website, you can search the code to see, where is pointer up event on the JavaScript. INP issues are usually related to JavaScript. But surely, depending on the website, it could be related to many other things. So now, let's take a look at, okay, where are we? Okay, let's go back. Let's look at the web server. Let's log into cPanel for a typical example site, so I can actually quickly show you a couple of methods here. So file manager, I can look at the files on my website. PHP MyAdmin, if you're using content management system with database access, you may be able to optimize the database. Remove empty tables if they are not used. So database optimization, depending on the content management system, will help a lot of Core Web Vital issues. Then let's look at some file examples. For WordPress, it's usually the theme. Your theme will have JavaScripts, for example. Let's look at assets. There's fonts. Okay, let's look at some plugins. It's basically the same thing. JavaScript is JavaScript, right? So let's look at includes. Let's look at some, as you can see, there's some load more for WooCommerce. Let's look at that JavaScript so I can show you. Yeah, when we look at JavaScript, there's many different ways to optimize. But when it comes to interaction to next pane, you want to double check the JavaScript libraries. Let's imagine a WordPress site. You may be using a Bootstrap library that loads JavaScript that can do 1,000 different things. But your website may not use 1,000 different functions. So at that moment, you can look at that library and perhaps identify what's used and remove what's not used. But that will require web development skills. So you can definitely optimize the JavaScript, especially libraries. So I won't cover that because that will be too in-depth, right? So then you have coverage report here. Let's reload the page looking at coverage report because I can then show you a couple of other things. Looking at this, let's grab the JavaScript files here. And at first, what you should do as a web developer managing your client site is look at any libraries that's 100% not used. If it's 100% not used, then you should remove that from the page load, because that's going to help everything related to page load. And looking at this example, this is, alright, JB Hi-Fi probably doesn't really rely on free website traffic from Google, because they are a large company in Australia. But all these things that they're using, their web developers could have easily better optimized it. And if they just do that, they will improve their conversion rates and profits as well. So now let's filter the URLs to say, okay, you know what? Just show me what's loaded here. Okay, look at things that in this example, there's at least 10 different JavaScript files here, right? And it's all bundle. At that moment, you can see some of them are not really used. Can they group them together? They could do that. Looking at others, 87% not used. What's going on here? Theme support. Shopify common. Can they put that elsewhere? So then what you can do is grab the whole, highlight the whole URL and look, because this will be on the server. Right? This will be somewhere on the server. And once you identify what it is, then you can say, okay, how can I optimize that? Okay. Looking at network tab, let me show you a different trick. Let's refresh the page. Now we can see some JavaScripts here as well. Here you can see the initiator is in what has called that JavaScript. You can further analyze the file itself and so on. So we can go deeper and deeper and deeper, right? So the tools available for you, because you have the technical skills, is Performance tab, the latest AI assistant. You can ask AI to identify what interactions, what functions, dive deeper into the screenshots here. Don't just look at interactions, but treat the whole web page load as one holistic manner. Then using the AI tools, you'll see more insights, including what events, what functions. Then you have coverage report, and you can use AI assistant. That's the latest feature. Coverage report will give you optimization opportunities. Ask yourself, okay, can you optimize the JavaScript? If you're using tools such as Gemini, it can code, it can help you to code as well. What we could have done is look at the source code, copy everything, perhaps even paste it here. That's a lot, I don't want to do that. But then ask questions using an AI tool such as Gemini as well, because it can code too. So I know I went back and forth, but at the end of the day, any Core Web Vital issues for mobile user experience is important, especially poor URLs, which is more than 500 milliseconds. This is how you fix INP issues in Google Search Console Core Web Vital reports.